Here's Shelley. Guess what? It's
Friday, Saturday to Sunday.
And that means I'm here talking to you. You may have noticed I'm in a park, an empty park. That's because I went to work earlier. I set off to work earlier than I should have because I had some errands to do, and I've got about half an hour to kill before I have to go in. So I thought I couldn't be bothered to go home, so I just sat in the park and decided to talk to you instead. I really loved your last video. You did really well with the questions. I think the ones that you got wrong are probably because, one, there was a time limit, because that was my problem, because there was the pressure of time meant I just blurted the first thing that came into my head. But the other thing is, obviously, you've only really known me in my adult life, so that's what I thought I'd base this video on this week. In the meantime, this is what else I've been doing this week. I think because we shared our germs last week, like you, I've not been very well all week. I've been in bed feeling very sorry for myself, and the cat's never left my side the entire time. We went to a little get-together at Ethan's house to welcome him back from his Chelmsford build, and it was a really nice evening, and it even turned into a little bit of a sing-song. And of course, Jaden pretty much just stayed in his room and played on his Xbox. So, this week I thought I would share some little clips of home movies with you this week, because I was trying to think of how best to show you, or to sum up, what childhood Sophia was like. And I thought, well, what better way than home movies? The reason I thought of this was from one of the questions that I sent you last week, was about what kind of dog I'd always wanted. And of course I pretty much would like any dog, but when I was a kid I was obsessed with Dalmatians. Because of the film 101 Dalmatians, I had Dalmatian everything. Bedding, clothing, I had 1,000 Dalmatian toys and books and all sorts. I just remembered the time that my mum and dad, I really wanted this kit that I'd seen. It was like a toy vet's kit covered in Dalmatians. I remember really wanting it so that I could play with my Dalmatian dogs and pretend to be a vet. And my mum and dad actually filmed my reaction when they bought me that present, and I've managed to dig it out, so here it is.
As Mummy and Daddy have decided to buy you each a sack full of presents. So, you look at them. That's Jaden's. Right, now just look. Right, wait a minute, Jay. Right. And it's Amelia's.
Sophia's.
Right.
I just got Sophie's right near my phone, isn't it? It's delicious! Delicious! Oh, Shelley's in Ramsden's! I really wanted one of them! Lily, you recognise this in Shelley's Ramsden's? Yes! I can! She really wanted that, but now I can buy her it. I've never seen that! Oh, so nice, isn't it? Oh! It's surprising! I love it! Oh! Thank you, Sophie, son of a football face. I'm so happy, aren't you? Look at you, you can't believe you got me such a thing! It's a whole real one!
Oh, that's so emotional then. And while I was rummaging through my home movies, I started to think, well, what sort of bits of footage are my absolute favourite of our childhood? Because there's times when you've been over and we've sort of referenced them, but obviously you've never been able to actually see them because we don't have them to hand. So I've picked a few out, so I hope you'll enjoy them. Firstly, is probably my all-time favourite clip of Amelia. She must be between the ages of 2 and 3 years old, and we are both in a paddling pool together, and we're splashing each other, and she's pouring tons of water all over me, and then as soon as I splash her back, she does not like it. So anyway, I think the video clip pretty much speaks for itself. Enjoy.
Your turn, Soph. You get Amelia now.
I want to read the Amelia. You might get me in the face. I've got an egg.
Get her in the body, Sophie. Get a body. Yeah, go Sophie. Yeah. Yeah, go Sophie. Yeah, go Kiwi. Go on, baby, get her back. That's it. Oh, get her before she gets you. Oh dear. Oh, she did it. Got it, yeah. Oh, don't you?
I just love it when she goes, I've got a headache. It's brilliant. My second favourite clip of Amelia is actually for shortly after Jaden was born. So she must have been 2 and I would have been 3. And there was some lovely home movies of us holding Jaden at home when he was just a few days old. And at the time I had a really bad cold. And Mum said, do not breathe on the baby. So I was really excited about seeing the baby, and Amelia's holding the baby and I'm holding my breath, and I held it for as long as I could, and then I couldn't hold it anymore and I just went and Amelia didn't take that very well.
Sophia, be yourself. Alright, Amelia. Alright.
Thought I'd also show you, there's some very early clips of me, well the earliest clips of me, because my mum and dad didn't own a video camera, but some relatives of theirs did. So they brought it over specially to film me as a baby at 6 weeks old. And from the clips, I still can't tell that it's me yet. But this is 6-week-old me. Enjoy.
Smile. Yeah. Smile, you. Give us a smile. Give us a smile. Come on, cheeky face.
I just can't get over how young my mum and dad look in those pictures and how much hair my dad has. Of course, I was brought up in a witness household, so from a very early age I was taught to do ministry, doing my very first practicing to do preaching on the ministry.
Talking about Jim's dad.
Oh.
I don't know Jim's son.
And what about Johanna?
Holiday.
Oh yeah, that sounds good. Did it tell you in the Bible?
Yeah.
You're going to show me a scripture?
So, Bible says, for all things,
Can I live in the paradise?
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah. I'll swing.
I've got to be good though, have I?
Yeah, alright. Are you okay?
You're going to see me another time?
Yeah. See you
Are
later.
you going to leave me something to read?
Yeah.
Can I read this?
Yeah.
Alright then.
Come on.
I'll see you another time.
There's also this really lovely clip of me and Amelia and Jaden with my mum and dad singing Kingdom Melodies together.
I love we can see from His Christ, fulfilled, for He lies to do God's will.
Everyone's everyone's always said that Jaden's a little bit henpecked by me and Amelia, but as is evidenced by this video, it kind of has always been the case.
A, B, C. Listen to Jaden a minute. Go on then.
I also, there's a lot of footage of me, Amelia and Jaden play acting. There's times, particularly when I'm a little bit older, sort of 11, 12 years old, where I'm getting hold of the camera and we're coming up with stories and films, pretty much like what we do now, but it wasn't quite as slick then. Here's me pretending to be a host of our version of Pop Idol.
We are on live. Let's hope we get the sympathy vote tonight. Shut up! Okay. We're getting a bit of a grilling tonight behind the stage. Nerves are obviously tensing up. Thank you. Now back to the studio where the contestants will test their singing talents. Now it's for Bryony Wednesburn singing. What's your nose? I don't know.
As evidenced by all the home movies that I've looked at, I have danced since the second that I could stand up. And it's clearly something I've inherited because there is endless footage of the Mills dancing. Well, there you go, just a little taster of some of our home movies and a little bit of an idea of what I looked like, sounded like and acted like as a child. I hope you enjoyed it and I will see you on Wednesday. Mwah!